Welcome back to the Jojatorium. You know who it is. It's the King with the boys. It's Adam, Josh, Matt. We're back in the studio for another action-packed episode. And I know we always talk about beer here, but are you looking for more beer talk? How about some witty and at the same time nerdy chit-chat? Well, Hop Nation USA has you absolutely covered on those topics and much more. Hop Nation USA has been in the podcast game for over 4 years, and they will definitely let you know when Spicy Boy season kicks in. You can catch Adam and Steve by following at Hop Nation USA on all social media, with new episodes dropping on Fridays and on all major platforms, and the video hitting YouTube on Mondays. And you can support them by checking out their merch at hopnationusa.com. So it's a wonderful evening. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Doing great. Glad this week is over and I get to hang with my boys tonight.
Yeah.
Just
always working for the weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. 80s power pop. Yeah.
Yes. And to call back to Hop Nation, Adam and I got to creep on to episode 197. So when this drops and you listen to all of us and you are rock hard from all of our sweet chit chat, go back and check out episode 197 on Hop Nation USA. I take a huge dump on Hulk Hogan. I had a blast. So yeah, check them out. Spotify is usually the main way to do it, but they're on all major platforms, and we killed it. And I should say too, we are decaying with the boys, as brought to you by Hop Nation USA LLC.
Yeah, as we established on Wednesday. And also, by the time you're listening to this on Monday, we'll be on the YouTube channel by then too. So
yeah,
if you want to see our ugly faces, we'll be on the YouTube by then.
We have faces for radio. That is for sure, buddy.
Amen.
So I sit here again in the studio as a complete loser, because once again Josh's torrid bets of doom have taken me to new lows. So I would like to just recap quickly Josh's bets of doom. Because I'm not happy. WrestleMania 37 is over, and I found that L that I was looking for in my basement office the whole damn time. It's ridiculous. Josh, I'm just going to give you the mic, and I'm just going to sit here and wait patiently to tell you what the fuck you guys are going to do to me. So congratulations. Go ahead.
Well, as you know, that the end result for anybody that actually kept tabs, Adam and I tied at 10, and Matt lost at 9. So we had the tiebreaker. That fell through with Adam and I too, because we both had the same thing, and it didn't come true either way.
Collusion.
So we talked about it, and we know what the punishment's going to be for you.
Yeah, and I mean, we can announce it this week if you want a week to prepare
your liver,
and
stomach.
maybe for a ride home.
Fuck you guys.
So I graciously volunteered to pay for the punishment and pick the punishment as one of the first place winners here on this side. And you will be drinking, if I can find it, a growler of Cold Snap from Sam Adams.
I thought we were friends. I thought that we had a relationship that transcended almost 2 decades. And you know that when you bring that bottled shit to me, that it's going to just be a nightmare. Why can't I just drink the Smirnoffs like Josh had to do?
Don't worry. It won't be bottled. That'll be fresh off the tap. I mean, as fresh as it can be. It was a spring release and we're almost in summer, so it won't be that fresh, but it'll be a growler full of it.
So he's sitting here complaining, like, why do you got to do this to me? Just be better.
Yeah. But you know what? That's a good point. Just be better.
Just pick better.
Well,
who's picking Daniel Bryan? I mean, come on.
Fuck you guys. High-fiving each other like you did so well. You guys won 10 matches and I won 9.
In all fairness, we lost that match.
We did. It did.
Nobody picked Roman Reigns. So let's not like pat ourselves on the back. You guys were like, Becky Lynch is coming back. That didn't happen either. So Boner's gone. Fuck.
That's fair.
That was all Josh.
So
I was only looking forward to Alexa Bliss.
I would say that probably got fucked up by Vince because he changed the card on both nights last minute. Becky was in town.
She was. Yeah,
she was in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the stars should have aligned there. The rumor that I heard though was instead of the Bella twins coming out and interrupting Bayley, it was supposed to be Becky.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
I heard the same thing.
So
you know what? Then I'm glad she stayed in the hotel.
So then maybe what we were talking about with a move to SmackDown.
Oh, I think
that makes a lot more sense.
I think
now.
that's going to happen.
It's lining up. It's lining up a lot.
But to do a quick recap of where we all fucked up at on these things. So Adam, right off the bat, went up 1-0 on the first match. Because Bobby Lashley came in and he ripped Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania moment away.
He sure did.
And
got him
in that hurt lock. And it was all for naught because the next night, Drew McIntyre becomes the number one contender again.
Yeah, Monday night. Unbelievable.
So from there, we all lost the tag team turmoil match.
Yeah.
Because Matt and I made the smart pick at the time.
Yeah. Oh, I do agree. I thought you guys made the smart pick. I was trying to, especially at the beginning of our picks, I was really trying to differentiate myself and get.
You could tell because you differed on a lot in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too, that I think everybody on the planet agreed with Josh and I, except for Adam Bashline and Vincent K. McMahon. So
yeah.
I'm glad that you and Vince had a little moment together.
Freaking revolver to my head. I would have never picked a team involving Tamina Snuka to win anything ever.
Right.
Not at all. And they proved that night too. So we all got the Cesaro, but the other place where we differed on the first night was the Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon. And Adam, you almost had me swayed with your persuasiveness of
compelling argument.
Yeah, well, and in full disclosure, me and Josh watched that match here together in the Judgatorium. And when he climbed to the top of the cage and didn't just climb out the other side, I threw a temper tantrum. I almost broke my beer glass.
It happened.
I was slamming stuff. And I was like, okay, you're the one calling the bodybuilder 300 plus pound dude a stupid idiot through the whole build for this match, which is a terrible build anyway. And then your ass had the win and you didn't take it. Like,
yeah, it was schoolyard bullying the whole way through, which, by the way, wouldn't happen because Braun Strowman is a literal animal. The dude's in the best shape of his life. And how old is Shane McMahon? Like 50 some years old now?
Yeah. They made him look like the damn bully over this physical freaking messiah.
It was all insane. To introduce the new tag team of Elias and whatever the fuck the old young veterans guy was.
Yeah.
He's the only one of the three that made it. The other two had to go back down to NXT real quick.
He's the one that put out the shitty tweet too, and the other two got fired.
Yeah.
I mean, we're saving that for the next segment.
And we'll get to that in a minute,
unreal.
But Jesus Christ, the irony in that is okay. Josh, just tell me how I lost more. Go.
Okay. So then we all got fucking duped by I'm gonna put some anger on behind it. I'm gonna go full name. We all got duped by Vincent Kennedy McMahon because we all went Fiend over Randy Orton.
The world
logical decision.
The world went
The Fiend. Writers went Fiend.
Yeah.
Until the last minute. Because even if you read about it, everybody involved was confused. Even Randy Orton and Fiend were like, oh, okay. I guess.
Let me tell you this too. You could tell in the way they were wrestling each other. They were so apprehensive with one another. It was stiff. The spots were like, I mean, they're both skilled wrestlers, so they were able to sell some things, but the spots just weren't like, I didn't feel invested in the match.
No.
Aside from the entrance for the Fiend, which I thought was pretty cool.
It was.
It was.
It was almost like they were trying to decide with each other in the moment whether to go into business for themselves and switch it.
Yeah.
It really was. But if I can just have
The floor is yours.
my safe space,
Yeah,
I would like to
safe
say
space.
Bray Wyatt, the Fall of the Buzzards character, was one of my favorite wrestlers in the last 5 fucking years. And Vince McMahon turned him into the Fiend, which I thought was cool. Love horror movies. Thought it was a great character. Thought it was a good concept. If they went with it, it would have worked. But he's lost every major fucking match he's ever fucking had. So in my book, thanks to you, Vince, the Fiend is gone. The Fiend is shit. Don't even have this fucking Bray Wyatt's funhouse bullshit anymore. Turn him into something else or fucking let him go work real estate with his fucking brother Bo Dallas because he's fucking done. You can't fucking save him now. You had him lose to Goldberg. You had him lose to Cena. You had him lose to fucking everybody. And he just lost to Randy Orton at the end of a fucking year-long feud. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you. And out of all this, I hope what fucking happens is Alexa Bliss gets a major fucking push into a badass fucking character because she's the only one that can be saved out of this. Fucking Randy got fucking skunked out the next night. It didn't even help Randy. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you. Fuck you for ruining my childhood. Fuck you for ruining it now. Fuck you. And fucking Bray Wyatt, fuck you for letting it happen. You're a bigger man than that. Have good luck in the AEW or with real estate, whatever the fuck you're gonna do. I fucking loved you, dude, and it's fucking over. Alexa Bliss, wish you the best of luck. I hope it works out for you. Rant done.
Next question.
Adam, Quentin Tarantino bash line with his salacious take. I guess if I could jump in here too, I would just say
Catch my breath.
Ditto. I can't believe that this match was built the way that it was, that you had character development the way that it was. For the first time in a long time, I felt like WWE Creative was taking the right path and building good characters, bringing in all kinds of awesome support behind it, and then you let it build to nothing. So now you have to punt on the Fiend. Randy Orton's build is shit, and now Alexa Bliss is left to pick up some scraps. Now, hopefully, I agree with Adam that she gets a push into something, because when the Women's Royal Rumble was going on, when she came down, every woman converged on her and got her out. So it's almost like that idea, like she's too crazy strong. Like she's the actual way the Fiend should have been booked. So hopefully they do that. However, after what they did to the Fiend, my expectations are very, very low.
And I thought I was done. I'm not done yet. He also lost. He lost to Seth Rollins with that big fucking. Remember the big fucking sledgehammer, like goofy looking thing?
The Playhouse.
That was another botch. Yeah, that was another botch. The only fucking thing that worked was the Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena at WrestleMania. That was the only good thing they did with the whole fucking character. Yeah. They made him wrestle under that red goddamn light. You couldn't see shit. You couldn't see the detail in the fucking mask that they put so much goddamn time into. He came out and everybody was fucking talking about it, and they squandered it. He was selling merch like a fucking machine, and they fucking squandered it. And one more fucking time, fuck you, Vince McMahon. You fucking ruined it. Fucking retire.
So
now I think I'm done. I might come back. I don't know. But Alexa Bliss, fucking run with it. I hope you fucking have all the success in the world. I hope you make more money than any fucking superstar in the history of the WWE.
I think we matched all of the Pulp Fiction F-bombs in just Adam's rant right there.
You can bleep a couple of those if you want to, or cut it out. I don't care. I just need to get that out.
I've
been drinking all week to get that out.
Raw.
It's
raw. I'm keeping that in,
It
man.
caught me to the nerve.
So to play on like the whole creative side of it, which we talked about midweek when I was looking at some of the articles about it, what I really think they need to do, honestly, is, they have a history of repeating like storylines right now, but I think they need to go to the old Taker versus Taker, and they need to separate Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. What you do is you have it as Alexa is controlling the Fiend to attack Bray.
Again, have you put your application in yet with WWE? Because I like where you're going.
You have the Fiend absolutely bury Wyatt. And I'm talking like casket match, fucking in the ground like AJ Styles type bury. He could come back as whatever he wants. My vote is, like Adam said, the Eater of the Worlds. Like that gimmick for him was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was an incredible gimmick, and it worked on so many levels.
You also, in the same vein, by getting rid of his alter ego, you have the Fiend finally break the hold that Alexa has on him, and you just let the Fiend go unfucking hinged. Yep. I'm talking biting bats' heads, fucking fighting with the fans as he comes down through the audience, Roman Reigns style. Cut the red light shit. Like, that's not fooling anybody. But just let him go unhinged and run through the division.
Yeah.
You can still, you got the two characters for the fucking price of one, really.
Yeah, I mean, that might be I think he's fucking done, but that might be the only way to salvage it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that idea.
I don't think that that storyline, I don't think the storyline is going to happen, only because there's nobody that's going to take the mantle of the Fiend up and have it the same way that Bray Wyatt did. He plays that character so well. It is very Michael Myers.
No, I'm saying he plays both.
So when you're talking
he's
about,
going to dual gimmick, kind of like Mick Foley with Mankind and Dude Love.
Dude Love.
Yeah. You go that route with Bray Wyatt and let him be the Eater of the Worlds and the Fiend. If you ever get into a situation where it's Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, you obviously double the Fiend.
Yeah, and you never need to do that. Like,
no,
you have
not after the original arc between them. You never have to worry about them facing each other.
Right.
Fuck, the draft is going to be coming up. Put them on separate shows.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt is fucking talented as a wrestler. He needs to be utilized.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't know the numbers, but I think under either gimmick, he was one of the top merch sellers. So
he was, he took over number one spot for a long time. Yeah, he held that down. I mean, it wasn't even close between him and number two. But then if you look at the trending numbers after WrestleMania was over, he hasn't done anything. I mean, it's quite a significant decline in the support for the Fiend across the board, not only from the talent inside the locker room, but also the fans that were watching at home, waiting for the ending that should have happened.
Well, and I mean, they left it very ambiguous whether he's even a character going forward after WrestleMania and Monday Night Raw. So, I mean, who knows? Like,
Bray's is going to come back as a Southern Baptist preacher. After that promo he cut, that's the only route.
I'd like to see him run with that, and then him and Big E do like the shouting preacher gimmick at each other.
Oh,
hell yeah!
So to move away from the Fiend, because we can rant about this for the rest of the night. We all missed the term tag team match or the women's tag team match the next night because neither of us had who was in there.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother talking about that match because you had one competent wrestler out of the four.
Involved. Yeah.
And this is kind of where Matt's luck started turning because he picked Sami Zayn over Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Bad idea, brother.
Thanks.
I will say, I mean, it was a fucking hell of a match.
It was
outside
really
of Michael
good.
Cole's commentary. It
Which
was
is
a
awful.
hell of a match.
What happened to Michael Cole?
What hasn't happened?
I don't know what hasn't happened. He's always sucked.
I always thought he was better than average, but never stellar, and he really dropped the ball during WrestleMania.
He should have never be the lead on commentary.
Correct.
He's like a good
support.
I guess you'd call him the color guy. Like, he's not
the color commentary guy.
He doesn't know he's never known the name of moves. I don't know how you've been in this business this long and you don't learn what a dragon suplex is or a tiger driver is, but he has no fucking idea. I just don't know what to say other than he's a professional color guy and should have. Yeah. He botched the best match of Mania, in my opinion, which was the Bianca Belair.
100%.
Sasha Banks match,
They even made fun of him in night 2
about botching
it, and they made fun of him on Raw for botching it.
Yeah,
he's not going to live this.
That was the best match of WrestleMania and the best men's match, in my opinion, of WrestleMania.
You could really
was
tell the
Zayn.
chemistry that they have. Like, you could tell that they came up through the ranks together.
They both were in tears before the bell rang. And that was huge. Like, you could just tell how much passion was in that for them. They were two minority race and women in the main event of WrestleMania. Yeah. And they put on a stellar a match to beat every men's match on night 1.
Hands down. And I think it actually rivaled that triple threat in night 2.
It did.
I mean, those two main events were neck and neck for me, man. Great main events.
The only match I put close, like in a very close second to that, is the Sami Zayn Owens match and the Sheamus, or no, not the Sheamus Riddle, sorry, the Cesaro Seth Rollins match. Yeah, those were very close to the top match of Mania, but the lady Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair fucking
stole that night, man. Stole it.
Yeah. So then Sheamus beat Matt Riddell.
That's right, that French bitch.
We all picked Apollo Crews over Big E for that.
Yeah.
Which after watching The Fiend go the way that he did, I almost thought that there was no way that
Big E loses.
Yeah, I thought for sure.
I thought that too.
I'm so wrong. Like, okay.
I can't lie. I thought that too.
Especially because I didn't know at first the Tampa connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Once that started being like a big story, I was like, oh fuck.
And I will say the Sheamus Riddell match was it was clunky in the beginning, but it finished great. I mean, the finish was really good.
So is it gonna be like forever that we're gonna say Riddell and hope that I split my eyes open?
That's his new name. You didn't hear? New name. I got the job at Creative, and I already changed his name.
You turned
Riddell.
him. Yeah, you turned him from a stoner from Scranton, PA, into a stoner from Paris, France, real quick.
A snail eater from Paris, France.
Yeah,
at best, he's from Quebec.
Oh my god!
And then we all had the Rhea over Asuka because that just made too much sense.
Yeah.
Where we all were wrong again was, like we started with, the Reigns match, where he beasted Edge on top of Daniel Bryan and pinned them both.
Yeah. And after seeing it, I was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Why didn't I pick Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like such a dummy.
I agree. The way they booked him, it makes sense. They keep trying to push. I was looking at it when I made my pick I know Edge wants to give to the younger up and comers. You get him the title, you let him carry that for a couple months and get into something with somebody.
Yeah.
Like a call up, like an Adam Cole. And then you have Roman Reigns win it back at like the Rumble.
So like build significant pay-per-views off of
that
storyline. Okay.
Might have been smart. But
Yeah, but I think right now too, when you build up Roman Reigns so greatly and you really haven't developed anybody else out, I think I saw like the rumor is that Cesaro is going to challenge now, which I don't think is a smart idea, but he's going to come out now and try to challenge Roman for the title.
Dominated. Yeah. I mean,
well, you're going to bury Cesaro right after giving him
the push. Yeah.
The momentum.
Yeah.
And it's
he needs something else. They're like, Cesaro needs, like, he defeated Seth Rollins, which was a great match, and I think it really propelled Cesaro in the right direction. But he needs something else. There has to be another match in between. Where's Jey Uso? He won that Andre the Giant. That, why can't Cesaro dismantle Jey Uso?
That's a good match. I thought you were gonna say, why isn't Jey Uso challenging for the championship? I was like, oh, they never pushed.
Which I would love to see
Andre.
But that,
I mean, he just did, and it was a great storyline before he
Yeah,
aligned with them. Like it was cool.
I think what they're gonna do, or what I would do, is you kind of let the whole head of the table, the head of the family thing continue to play a little bit, but you don't use Roman as much. Because the other thing that I'm thinking is Big E lost, but I think he lost up.
Yes,
I think they took the title off of him.
Yeah, because he lost dirty. So he lost up. You're very correct.
Now you move Cesaro into a Cesaro Big E fighting over the chance.
The number one contender. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Those are two big, meaty, strong men that I think could have a really good technical.
And Cesaro is technical and like strong enough to hit the big moves on Big E that you don't see somebody smaller than Big E hitting normally.
So is anybody else subscribing to the same issue that I have, that there was Nigerian drum match with several drums around the ring and nobody used a fucking drum?
Oh, that's not the problem I have. Do you want to know my problem, which is even worse, maybe even a bigger oversight? It was a Nigerian drum match, and they had all the green bongas around the ring.
Yeah.
But they also had a gong. Where in Nigeria do you find a gong?
Here's my
Isn't that from Asia?
Well, here's my issue with that.
Japan? Yeah. It's Nigeria, Japan.
Yeah.
Nigeria.
The gong took me out of the match immediately.
I might be holding on a little too strict to the word gong, but wasn't that just a big old symbol and not technically a gong?
No, it was a gong. It was hanging from the stand.
Yeah,
okay.
There's no mistake in that.
Because it looked like it was, because for me, the gong is the big, heavy fucking steel, thick.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. Symbol.
No, it was hanging in the background on the stand.
It was on the stand,
horizontal.
But it was just a big old symbol.
A symbol hangs on a stand vertically.
And
this was hanging from two pieces of rope that you would hit like this.
No,
that's a gong.
Okay.
I mean, it was probably a cheap ass gong.
Well, okay.
Yeah. But it was set up like a gong.
But it also had the edging on the outside of it, because a gong traditionally has a weighted edge that doesn't let it reverberate too long, and it had that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was totally gong. They gonged it.
In the moment, all I saw was just a fucking giant symbol that was hanging vertically.
I immediately saw a gong and immediately said, Vince, you're a bigot. Like, you're done.
So they have gongs in Nigeria, right? Put it in.
It's in percussion. It's all the same. Nigerian percussion match. Get out there. This is good shit. Don't have drums from another continent. Like,
entirely.
You specified a country and you went to a different continent. Way to go, Vince.
And then
another one. Again, I'm not even going to say what I want to say about you again. You got it. Just rewind a little bit. You'll hear it again.
Yeah. Then to go to the surface that I was at, they didn't use any of the drums. Nobody used a drum.
No, there was no
drums. I think there was one hit on a drum.
There was no drum. There were no drums.
I don't know.
There was a single hit. I promise.
How could you not crack one of those drums in half?
No, I agree.
Hold on. To go back to the continent of Asia, as soon as the match started, they both pulled out the freaking kendo sticks. Also from Asia. Get out of my! Oh God! You know what, Vince? If you write WrestleMania next year, I'm not watching. I'm not watching.
Well, luckily next year you'll only have to skip one night.
I hope so.
It'll be one night, thank goodness.
The plans are to go back to one night.
Oh, before you said that, I completely forgot about the kendo sticks right from the beginning.
Because
you could have brought out drum mallets. Same thing. Same thing.
Oh my God.
I'm burnt out. You know what? Everybody listening right now, I'll let you know what you need to do. You need to watch NXT Stand and Deliver both nights. Incredible. And then watch the follow-up NXT from this week, it was incredible. It was awe-inspiring. It's the only thing that gives me faith in anything under the WWE umbrella. And that's my piece. I won't interrupt anymore. But yeah, Triple H knows what he's doing. William Regal knows what he's doing. Vince McMahon can go. I'm fired up now. Okay.
So yeah,
I'm done.
So with all that said,
yeah,
we ended at 10. Matt, you ended
Yes.
at 9. Be prepared.
What happens if you can't find Cold Snap?
I'll find something of equal or lesser value.
I don't know if there's anything that's worse. Cold Snap to me is one of the worst beers, and that's odd coming from a commercial brand that usually puts out like some okay beers. So
I would say Sam Adams is usually semi decent, but that beer is. Whew.
You know,
I mean, somebody drinks it. They make it every year.
I hate Boston Lager. You can, oh man, if you can't find
I
Cold
believe
Snap.
you know who's you know whose recommendations I'm not taking into consideration? Yours. If I can't find Cold Snap, I'll talk to Joshy here and we'll find something else.
We got you.
Speaking of gotcha,
we'll take care of you.
Speaking of gotcha, in my patent news corner, I bring you another edition of Vince McMahon murders his roster because the WWE
I don't have any venting left.
The WWE has released several talents from their roster, quoting budget cuts, and under a new news cut that I got to read earlier today, they're saying that all these wrestlers had like the rumor come around to them where they were told like, hey, someone might be getting cut, and they started getting a little worried and asking like, hey, is it us? And they said no, but just remember that this isn't a family. This is a company. Well, the company spoke, and the casualties are plentiful. Some of them a bit bigger in name than others. Some of them were kind of expected because after WrestleMania, they always cut some talent. I mean, it's not unheard of.
Oh, yeah. They
I
did
would
it
start
last year around pandemic. And it was much bigger last year.
Super big. And it included like in-ring talent, writers, crew. Like everyone was getting completely roasted. Yeah. So to start with some names that like, you're kind of expecting this. So Bo Dallas was cut. I mean, they haven't used Bo Dallas in 2 years. He wasn't going to be involved in anything.
I don't like to see anybody lose their livelihood, but that was not a shocker.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And he was already like really big into the real estate industry.
Yeah.
Wherever he's living.
Him and Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything's a loss for Bo.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of less than losses too, Wesley Blake was also cut. The last time we saw him on a screen under the WWE banner, he was one of King Corbin's henchmen. So I'll say this. If you're working for King Corbin, you should have known the writing was on the wall because you were going to get cut.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, him and his partner, who I can't remember, which isn't good for any argument, who got cut back earlier this spring, both got taken off TV for a while because of Jackson Riker's comments during the election too.
Oh shit! This whole time I was like, "Who the? You guys are talking like you know who Wesley Blake is? Who the hell is this?"
Yeah, him.
Now it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay,
him, Riker,
the young veterans.
Yeah, the Forgotten
Sons.
So the two other guys also got pulled off TV, and then Riker got pulled back on, even though he was the one that got him pulled off. I mean, he does look like a Vince guy more than the other two, so that's
certainly does
why he's still around.
And this is where it starts to get into some more surprising territory. And I'll start with Kalisto, however you want to say that.
I'll go with Kalisto.
Dude's a legitimate luchador. Guy has a lot of talent. And he was in the popular trio, the Lucha House Party. Those guys put on some pretty spectacular shows. And he was actually in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where he had a strong showing. He didn't last 2 seconds. I mean, he was really in there throwing some spots. You he fits the indie scene. I think you could see him popping up
Yeah.
somewhere pretty quickly.
Or just going back to AAA, maybe like
Yeah.
going back to Mexico and just doing
AAA
his
needs help.
as he would say, he'll go back there and do his lucha thing. He likes doing
Yeah,
lucha things.
exactly.
But I will always remember Kalisto for he was in that Money in the Bank match, and I don't remember who he hit the move on, but he did his like sliced bread finisher off the top of a ladder through another ladder. It was one of the most incredible ladder match spots I've ever seen.
Sick. Yeah.
He was a sick performer.
Speaking of sick performers, you guys might disagree with me on this one, but Tucker from Heavy Machinery was cut. And I say sick only because this dude had one of the best heel turns because he did it smack dab in the middle of one of the cutest storylines I think WWE's ever put on between Otis and Mandy Rose. So
where'd that heel turn take him?
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Not to the main event, but to main event the internet TV show put on by WWE. And then to the unemployment line.
He went nowhere. He got no push. And that's also to say too, Otis got no push either.
I was gonna say, where'd Otis go?
Yeah, nowhere. I mean, he got a push for like 2 more weeks and then also back to the bottom of the barrel.
Exactly. But Tucker,
and that was such a good tag team. It's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Tucker, much like Kalisto, was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, it's almost like it's a death sentence now. You get put into that event and it's like, hey, you're on the chopping block now.
I mean, you're sitting here talking about an event that wasn't even that popular on the WrestleMania side to the point that they had to move it to SmackDown.
Right.
That's not surprising that that's what happened.
Yeah, they couldn't even pre-show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't even put it on the pre-show they couldn't even air it during the rain delay.
Yeah, I like watching that match. I mean, it's all jobbers, but I like watching the.
It's good. It's when you get to see jobbers do the things they're not allowed to do when they're scripted into squash matches.
Right.
It's kind of nice to see what they can actually pull off. Speaking
not
of
only that, but before we go past Tucker, I did see his response to it today.
It was
where
sick.
he was smoking a stogie on the golf course, saying, "Just making lemonade." It's phenomenal. He looked like a total boss.
Yeah, he looks great, man. Speaking of looking great, but leaving too soon, Chelsea Green was released from her contract as well. They cited several injuries and her lack of development as the reason for her cut. I don't think that they gave her the opportunity to really come back from whatever happened to her wrist.
Yeah, she was in NXT for one match. I mean a decent match. Broke her wrist though.
Yeah.
Was out for months. They bumped her up to SmackDown. She had one match and she broke her wrist again. And now she's gone. Which is a shame. I mean, I remember like glimpses of her in Impact, and
yes,
she had a good character. Like her in-ring was good enough. Like I'm guessing the work she did in NXT would have made her incredible. But her character work was just unbeatable.
She's already tied back to Impact.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
She flourished there. Possibly joining her is the illustrious Mickie James. She was also cut. She did appear on TV during WrestleMania week, and she was on for NXT commentary. Mickie James has a storied career with the WWE, especially most notably her feud with Trish Stratus that involved some very provocative gestures that are replayed by basement dwellers on a pretty consistent basis on YouTube. So
great match.
Great matches. She got cut way too soon. She had more to give. I think she had one more title run in her, and she was in the greatest shape of her later part of her career.
Yeah, and I think she had an injury somewhere in there that took her off TV, and then they just never. I mean, she was healthy now, but they just let her go.
Speaking of healthy ones that have been released, despite the fact that they were superstars, I put them together. Ms. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, formerly known as the Iconics, broken up for no reason. Billy Kay gets no push. Peyton Royce gets a push into a storyline where Ric Flair impregnates Lacey Evans and, of course, gets abandoned. But for some reason, Billy Kay gets to be on WrestleMania and gets a roll-up pin to only be fed then to the unemployment line. One of the best modern women tag teams in WWE gets split up for no reason, and now we have them cut.
Yeah, it's a shame. I do have an idea for them if Tony Khan's listening. You bring them into AEW and make a stable with Britt Baker and call them all the role models. It just writes itself.
Yeah, man.
Iconics, the role models, and your annoying heel comedic selves. And
yeah,
I'll be honest. We talked about this. I'm not fussed about losing Billy Kay.
I'm not as much fussed about Billy Kay as Peyton Royce was a talent.
Correct. I just could not stand Billy Kay, and it wasn't necessarily because she was playing the heel persona so well. It was more just, I just don't care for you, period.
And Peyton Royce's push suffered because of a lesser performer not being able to perform anymore. It doesn't make any sense. You couldn't find something else for her.
I called Billy Kay the women's version of Matt Hardy walking around with a stick up his ass. I think she's too stiff. I don't think it's going to work.
That roll up on WrestleMania looked pretty sweet though, Joshy.
Pretty snug. Not really.
Yeah.
That match was a slop show.
Yeah.
This all leads up to the biggest hole in the roster. The man that could carry an entire organization on his back, Mr. Samoa Joe, the all-around utility guy. He is the biggest release of this group, clearly. The dude did it all. He was a fantastic wrestler, great on commentary. He was a company man. He did everything you asked him to do. He gave commentary in a fucking hurricane for WrestleMania. And his reward is to, again, get served with a pink slip. But he and CM Punk are already trading punches online via Twitter, and it gets me excited.
Let's go all in, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've only seen Samoa Joe on WWTB, it's a disservice to what he can do. He was incredible in NXT. You go back a few years, he was incredible in Impact. His matches against Kurt Angle are classics. And then you go further back, and his matches against CM Punk and Ring of Honor were some of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen. Just incredible. And Vince, he got under Vince's thumb. He got hurt, and bye-bye. Even after he does a wonderful job on commentary, he was one of my favorite commentators, and he's still gone. So it's a shame.
So quick little pop quiz for you guys. Despite the fact that Samoa Joe was pushed heavily in NXT, Impact, and Ring of Honor, he had one push in the WWE and held one title. What was it?
The U.S.
title.
The U.S. title. A significant talent is given a mid-card title that isn't even thought about.
Yep.
It was a stepping stone for Bobby Lashley, but it was an anchor for Samoa Joe.
Yeah, and to get real nerdy about it, this ruins one of my dream matches I've always wanted to see, which is Samoa Joe versus the Samoan name Joe, Roman Reigns, for the
for the
heavyweight title. They had Samoa Joe versus Samoa Joe under their thumb for all these years, and they never used it.
Never pulled the trigger. Man, if you're listening out there, WWE, we are available for creative writing gigs, and we work for way less than you pay those other guys, because we know you're going to screw up our scripts anyway. So we'll write what we like, and then you'll just change it anyway. So I don't know. You could pay us a third of whatever you pay your team. I don't care anymore. Just hire us, and then don't bother us. Let us make your program better. Welcome back. Hopefully those ads didn't put you to sleep, but if they did, we're going to wake you up with some information about the top side hustles in America. Just to let you know, the 9-to-5 that we lead on in our lives sucks the life out of us, but Indeed.com is letting us know that in 2021, there are options. So I want to bring it to you guys. I have the top ones here for us to review, and some of them are kind of surprising. And I will say that only I think one of them actually requires a collegiate diploma. So let's really think this out, guys. We could probably do some of these and get away from the jobs that are trying to kill us every day. What do you guys think?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go through the list and give them a try.
Well, I know which one takes the degree, so no, thank you.
So, leading at number one, and mind you, too, completely up there. It's Indeed.com. Thank you, Indeed. The number one side hustle that they listed was a bereavement coordinator, coming in at $47,000 a year of part-time work. You will be helping families of the terminally ill or recently deceased loved ones coordinate through the funeral services and also disbursement of money and household and estate. So do you guys think that you could take on such a role?
Not at all.
Absolutely not. I get teary-eyed when I watch like the veterans returning home from duty on YouTube. So like talking to people about their past loved ones, I'd be in probably worse shape than they are. So I'm not somebody to come to for bereavement coordination.
Yeah,
I'm a big softie when it comes to that kind of stuff.
It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not completely comfortable in that situation, and it will show. So it's not going to help the families.
I kind of feel like it would start off for me being the same way. I'd be very emotional starting off, but then I think after a while, and like it's like any other job, you come in with all this energy, like I'm gonna change something, and then before you know it, you're just like cold and dead inside, and you're just like, yeah, all right. So
like the corpse you're trying to help them with.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're dead. You need money and they had money. So where do I take the money? Okay. So let me help you with your will. I'll help you disperse this. And okay. Hey, listen, funerals are expensive. They didn't have health care or any kind of life insurance. Do you have money? Nope. Burn them. That's
I feel like that attitude's what most people in that field have. I mean,
yeah, I can't see people being like, I can't see anybody being like super caring after a while. I mean, any job sucks the soul out of you. But I think having to deal with crying families on a consistent basis for $47,000 a year on an annual average, I don't know if I could do that.
Crush my soul. It would crush me.
Well, to pick your soul back up, the next job here is a color expert coming in at $23 an hour. You will use color psychology, trends, stats, and theory to suggest the appropriate color for homes, businesses, brand logos, and anything else that involves a color palette.
I'd give that a shot. I mean, I hope they like black because that's my favorite color. And it's all I wear and it's all I care about. But yeah, if you like black, red, and white, I'm the man for you. But I don't know about doing the analysis on what color makes you feel what way. But I'm not completely against that one.
So it doesn't make sense for me to make that move because I don't know dick about like color theory.
Okay.
And for $23 an hour, you're in the ballpark of me now.
I do like that it's per hour though, so it seems like you could do it on a part-time basis. Like the other one was a salary per year. So like this one, like okay, nights and weekends. Let me feng shui your place,
Let me reiterate this though too, guys.
You like blood splatter? I like blood splatter.
These are all part-time jobs. Everything I'm listing here is a part-time job. So even though it's $23 an hour, this is a part-time hustle.
Okay. No, I figured it was. I just got thrown off by the bereavement coordinator being a per year, per year amount. But even part-time, I couldn't do that. I will cry at Nana's funeral harder than probably the grandchildren. So yeah, I can't do that.
We got Nintendo Switches. Nana's dead. Yay.
And I'm just crying. She was a good woman. Look at how strong she was.
He's here like beep boop beep boop beep. They're like playing whatever the hell, like Stardew Valley or something on their Nintendo Switches. Like blah, blah, blah,
blah. If Mima or Pop was a veteran, I'm a sucker. I would be. I'd be tears all over the place.
So Josh, you're also out on color expert. Not your
Correct.
thing. Not gonna happen.
No,
okay.
Not gonna happen.
I'm in. I'd give it the old college try.
I'm going to be out on this one only because Adam and I kind of have the same idea here. I don't know how to get out of monochromatic color palettes. And blood splatter to me is the only touch up that I can think of to go with black, gray, or white. So unless you want Patrick Bateman's lifestyle in your house at all times, you do not want to hire me. But if you do want that shit, I'll come in at $23 an hour and throw some red paint all around if you'd like it. So the next one here, super interesting to me because I think we could all have fun with this, especially if people have senses of humor. The online dating ghostwriter coming in at $24 an hour. This is exactly what you think it is. Smart people write your dating profile for you that they can easily figure out that you're a TikTok by reading your bio. This is something that I read that a lot of like English majors in undergrad and a lot of actual like professors and stuff do on the side because there are some people out there with online dating profiles that need a lot of touch up. So this is a pretty cool side hustle if you know how to write.
So yeah, I'm all in on this. I actually did this for a coworker of mine a few years ago.
Did it work out?
Yeah. His online dating profile was horrendous. And me and a third coworker of mine rewrote his whole profile, changed the pictures out for him with real pictures of him, just better. And he ended up meeting a gal that he married. So I think I could do this.
Josh?
I wouldn't have a 100% success rate. Let me follow.
Nobody does.
I think I could help a few people out.
So I'm also out on this because I didn't like doing it for myself.
Oh, I hated doing it for myself.
I'm not going to be any better doing it for Joe Schmo. Plain and simple.
It did help that this coworker. Yeah, I'm not going to name names. It did help that this coworker of mine was a close friend, so I could see like
fair.
I knew his.
Yes,
you knew him better. Yeah. You could talk about him better than he could talk about himself.
It is really hard to talk about yourself.
Back in the day, I would probably hire somebody that did it, but definitely don't want to do it myself.
So I think that I could do it. I did do it. I successfully did it. My wife and I, we are married now since 2013.
I would hope since you called her your wife.
Yeah. Context clues. Thanks, Josh. So kind of we met on Match.com, and I used my epic writing skills to link her up. So she hasn't left me yet, and I think it's because she hasn't heard a single episode of this podcast. But I did a good job there. I never wrote for anybody else, but I think that if I did it like what was that movie with Will Smith in it? Hitch,
baby.
Yeah.
That's
so if I like hitched it up a little bit and hung out with you a little bit and kind of knew who you were, I could probably write you a decent profile.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a couple beers with anybody, you can kind of figure out the pros and cons and avoid the cons and accentuate the pros. I think I could do this. And to echo what Josh said, I mean, way easier than writing one for myself. I am not good about identifying my pros at all. I will give you a list of cons
super quick. Yeah. I would say that I wrote mine and deleted it probably a dozen times. Like as I was writing it for myself, I was like, because I feel like an asshole trying to talk about the things that I'm okay at or I think that are positive about me. And it's not much, let me tell you that off the rip. But to go back and look at it, be like, am I actually good at this? Probably not. I shouldn't lie to people. Delete.
Not saying that my own wasn't great, but Lori, if you're listening, earmuffs. I mean, I had success with mine, but it just wasn't great success, and it was really hard to write. But
I wouldn't care enough to really be passionate about it.
I would for $24 an hour. I would. That's beer money, baby.
Yeah, I would say I think it's a perfect job for someone who's going through English like understudy or whatever it is, because you're already writing a ton. So why not take 15 minutes and write someone's narrative for them?
Yeah, you only have like 500 characters anyway, so it's a quick job.
Yeah, it's super quick. So, but speaking of a higher threshold for excellency, number 4 comes in. It's called a master marijuana extractor, a part-time job that pays $84,000 a year on annual average. You process marijuana to produce edibles, oils, and concentrates. However, you do need a degree in botany and agriculture, but the money is right at the very beginning. You are paid bank off the rip because this is a very tedious process. And now with the marijuana business in America booming under some of the states legalizing it, these jobs are in high demand.
So I'm all on board for this, 100%. And it's more because I believe in the legalization of it.
Okay.
So I would want to get in there on the ground floor and support it, kind of deal. I mean, needing to have the degree, that sucks because I don't think I'm going for that because it's not interesting.
Botany and agriculture. It's like,
but,
it's fancy farming.
Well, yeah,
it's fancy.
But the process itself would interest me enough to be all in on it.
So yeah, I have no knowledge or skill with this being a federal employee. I have no experience. But if Josh said no, I would ground and pound him until he said yes, because I think he would be really good at this. Like, I'm glad he said yes, so I don't have to coax him at all. But yeah, I agree. I think Josh, you can get the degree, no problem, because it's something you're passionate about. That helps. And also that you're passionate about it would help you be good at the job. So yeah, I give this one over to Josh for sure.
I can't agree anymore. I think Josh, out of the three of us, would be a phenomenal Breaking Bad marijuana maker. You just kind of, you have the unmitigated freedom, Josh. Do you not see the potential here? Seize the opportunity by the balls, my friend. Take over the marijuana industry.
Be the Scarface of the pot kingdom.
How'd you get this scar? Drinking cream ales. So coming in at number 5, we have something that interests me a ton. It's a voiceover artist coming in at $63 an hour. This is literally acting, but on a completely different level. Most voice actors, and I point to like Bill Hader. He's like a number 1 voiceover actor. He actually takes acting classes to be better at voiceover acting. It doesn't take a degree, but it does take some talent. But as you can see, especially with like Disney Plus is on the rise and the resurgence of Pixar, voiceover acting is becoming a commodity. So at $63 an hour, you can go do like a half a day of hustle and come out with our regular paychecks pretty simply.
Very easily. For myself, I can't take this. I used to be able to do a mean meat wad back in college, but years of smoking cigars and drinking beer have ruined that, for at least that voice for me. And I don't think I have many other voices. Out of the three of us, I would say, Matt, this is your fucking lane, brother.
I'm also buying into this one just because it interests me. I can't really do voices, but to do voiceover acting, you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah,
you can be putting your voice to a character.
That's true. Your natural voice might be good enough.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's true.
So I know too, like Audible will actually hire people. It's not $63 an hour, but like Audible and Spotify will actually hire people on to read books and put them on track. And I think it's only like, it pays like $20 an hour, which, there have been times where I was like, I thought about it. I like to read a lot. And I think I have a voice. If I slow down with what I'm saying and I don't drink while I'm saying it, I could possibly get you through Moby Dick.
You'll get a Moby Dick.
If I go back to school and learn how to read, maybe I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, and Matt have to read it at least a 5th grade level.
And Matt's all good unless somebody in the character scheme has the last name Riddle. He's done.
Yeah. When Batman took on the Riddeller, I would have some serious issues because that French bastard leaves question marks all over the place.
Oh, great pull.
Thank you.
That was a great one. Good one.
Last but not least, a podcaster. You literally make no money, but apparently you get to have fun with your friends, drink 40s, make ridiculous jokes. You need to have a computer and know how to hook a microphone into it. And we are literally doing it right now. We're having a blast with it. And if you do it the right way and you get the right kind of people behind you, you can make money. But right now, we don't have that. We're just doing it for funsies.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most rewarding thing I've done since brewing beer. So I'm totally on board with that. I don't care if I ever make money.
For this one, I gotta be out again. I've had a secret I've been trying to tell you guys.
Josh is just
This is it. This is how you let us know that you're out.
God. He just heel turn like Hulk Hogan, joining the NWO, brother.
No, I mean, obviously I'm in. I mean,
Yes.
I have a blast. So.
Yeah, I mean it's really just us recording our conversations we would have on a typical tipsy Friday night, if not drunken Friday night. So yeah, I'm down. I mean, even if we make chump change out of it, I'm in.
Cool. Yeah, and we'll keep doing it as long as some people listen to it, and hopefully more people listen to it. And eventually we can maybe use the money to do some fun things for the people who do listen to it. So again, if you are listening to us, we are on all major platforms. You need to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell everybody about us. Tell your ex, tell their friends, force them to listen to us. We are entertaining. They just don't know it yet. So speaking of all the people that we talk to and the people that get back to us, I reached out there again, like I always do, and I asked people to get back to us with some information here. And you guys, I have an email where someone's seeking advice from us. And the best way I can put it, it's a revenge email. And let me just read it to you guys and we can try to figure this out. So, what's up, boys? I figured you would be the degenerates I needed to speak to in order to set this shit straight, literally and figuratively. I live in a split apartment with my unit above my neighbor. My neighbor has an awesome dog, like really awesome. Like my neighbor is too much of a douchebag to love this dog like it needs to be loved. However, the dog takes massive shits outside the shared entry door to the apartments. The problem, you ask? This guy never cleans them up and it just continues to stack up until the dog starts pooing on the sidewalk. I've already tried talking to him. Now I just want to make him pay for it. Do you have any suggestions? And before you talk about it, no, I refuse to move.
Yeah. Who says pooing?
I say
This person says pooing. I say pooing.
I do not use pooing
I
as
take-
a common term in my life.
I take big poopies.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the age-old prank set up here.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, you put it in a brown paper bag and light that son of a bitch on fire at his doorstep.
I'll take it multiple steps. I'll take it multiple steps further. You call animal control, say he's abusing that dog, let them repossess it into a shelter, and then you adopt it. And then
Ooh,
rub
yeah.
it in his face. That's the ultimate revenge. That's how I would do it, especially if you already like the dog. Like,
I was
Yeah.
really hoping that you were taking it somewhere better because I was like, you don't want to just take the dog,
oh no,
put it into a shelter.
no.
Oh,
No.
shit.
No.
I don't know if that's better.
No, then you adopt the dog.
Okay.
And you pick up his poop.
Yeah.
So he has somewhere else to poop.
I would say my suggestion is twofold. One, how comfortable are you with touching dog poop? If it's really comfortable, then step 2 is going to be way easier for you. All you do is you take the poop in your hand and you mush it into the vents of the guy's car and push it down as hard as you possibly can. Because once he turns his car on, at least some of it will get sucked into the cool air intake of his vehicle. So he turns on whatever he wants, hot, cold, kind of hot, not so hot, little cold, whatever. It's going to smell like dog crap. and that dog's poo is going to permeate through that entire car. And the best thing is if you do it the right way and you rub it in good enough, he'll never know why it's happening until he takes it to a garage. And then that's when the ultimate revenge comes in, because I don't know if you guys know this, but auto mechanics are the biggest assholes on the planet, and they like to make fun of you for the things that you've done to your car. And to watch an auto mechanic come out who's way smarter than you to say, there's dog shit in your car and you have to pay us $1,000 to make it work better. Revenge is set right there. Thank you. That's
a good one. That's
diabolical.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
And even if you're not okay touching for articles like dog poop, you can glove it. You can wear gloves, latex gloves, or you can double glove it, triple glove it.
Pay the kid down the block $20.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, pay the neighbor kid to fucking pick it up and just rub it in there.
I would say my other
that's
idea.
Ultimate revenge. I mean, I'm just trying to steal the man's dog. You're trying to ruin his life.
I would say my other idea is it does take you picking up the poo, but I would say if you just take all the poo and pile it up like
in front of his door.
Yeah, just wall. Yes, yeah. So when he opens the door, that it just like falls in. Or do you guys have shared mailboxes? Like, is it like a thing where
that would be cool.
And you just keep launching the mailbox.
Those are usually locked, but you could smear it on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Just or in the keyhole.
Attack his stuff. Oh yeah.
What you do, you wait for the mail person to come because they'll usually open all of them at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Wait for them to be distracted and just
slip it in.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything better than in the air vents of the car though.
No.
As far as using
we're arguing moot points.
As far as using the poop as a weapon, like that's the best way to mobilize it. Yeah. Like you put it in the vents. I mean, yeah, that's ingenious. That's evil. I was stealing the man's puppy, and that's less evil than what Matt said.
Can we combine the two things together then? Like we'll put crap in his vents, and then we'll steal his dog too, and then we'll just like double whammy him, and then save some poo and use Josh's trick, and then put some of the poo in his mailbox. So we'll trifecta him.
After we already have the dog,
yes,
I love it.
We don't have to save the poop at that point.
Hey, this was for revenge. We've got
the producer of the poop.
It's pure revenge.
Absolutely. Or you, the safe side of this, because I'm pretty sure everything we talked about is a felony. You can.
Hey, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is, do you have a landlord? Send the poo to the landlord and tell him it's from your neighbor.
You could Jensen carpet, send it to a lab to get analyzed first.
Yeah, I found this black stuff on my sidewalk. What is this?
I thought you were gonna say smeared on your cinnamon toast crunch like a dum dum.
or you can try to bang it and bring your friend over, and you guys can DP some dog turds.
Oh, Jensen, you fuck.
Yeah, dickhead. So some other questions came through for us, and these are fun. They're light and they're fun, and I think we can have a good time with these ones. So Adam, this one is kind of directed at you because there's a caveat to it. So, hey boys, what is your dream job? And you cannot say brewer.
So yeah, I mean I can go first. I kind of have it ready, but you might not accept it. Because it's
bereavement counselor.
No, I'm definitely not doing that.
Winemaker.
Yeah,
not that. It is pretty close, but it's I'd be a coffee roaster. My whole life revolves around my beverages. So after beer comes coffee. So if I couldn't do beer, I'd be a coffee roaster. I'd make some really fucking crazy ass beans that people would love to drink, and that's my answer. If you accept it, if not, I'll think of something else.
That's fine.
But yeah, coffee roaster would be my next passion.
That's a dope ass job, man. No lie. Josh, what's up?
So mine would probably be sports broadcasting, sports journalism, something around that.
Okay.
I love to just sit around and bullshit sports all the time. and it's something I've been interested in since I was like 16.
Cool. Yeah. I could definitely see you tearing up Skip Bayless.
Let's bring him on. PTI, I got him.
Oh.
Hey, I would like to say we're getting him really close with this podcast. Just like there's no money.
Perfect. Fuck you, Skip.
But it's free. It's free training.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, dream job. What I do now is fun, but what I like to do, I think I always would have been a decent therapist. Drug and alcohol, probably, or more like severe mental health. I like that kind of stuff. It's intriguing to me. It keeps me interested. I think I connect with people at that level. Even what I do now, I think I connect with people that do that have those symptoms and everything. So if that was my main job, I wouldn't be upset. I just don't know. I mean, how long is a licensure process for that kind of stuff? I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I will say it's surprising because what you picked isn't like a sexy job. No, I mean, I don't know if a coffee roaster is either, but it's not a sexy job, but it is something I think you'd be really, really good at. So
Appreciate that.
It's an achievable goal if you wanted to go for it.
Not now. I'm too deep into my soul-sucking job as it is. I
They
think
pay
if
me
I
too
had,
much to leave. I can't leave.
I think if I had an option and I had to go get a degree, I'd just go be a marijuana extractor because that looks like that sounds way better.
Yeah, for 84K a year. Fuck yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So to the next question here, boys, what is your favorite beer and wing combo? And you can get as specific as you want to.
I'm not gonna go very specific at all. I like hot, any sort of spice level. Like if I had to go, because I don't want to go like more local, I'll go national with it just so people get an idea. I would probably do something like a mango habanero from Buffalo Wild Wings, even like the traditional hot, naked, not breaded from Hooters, something like that. But I pair it honestly with like a Yingling, something light and crisp, some sort of lager. That way you don't get too much, like if in an IPA, a lot of times you get either the hop burn or you'll have a fruit behind it. I just want the traditional, just cleanse my palate so I can keep smashing wings.
So,
Fair enough, sir.
So, listener, I hope you want it super specific because I'm going to go opposite of Josh and get real specific with it. But I will agree with Josh. If you're going chain wise, I will go mango habanero Buffalo Wild Wings. Phenomenal wing. That's my wing pick. And I'll give the Pittsburgh folks a local because it's all going to go to the same beer. Local, it will be Insurrection Ale Works. Either their Aleworks sauce or get one of their weekly special sauces to your liking. The hotter the better for me. But the Aleworks sauce is great. And no matter what the wing is, I like to pair it with a lighter IPA. So like something in this between 6 and 7 range. Even if it dips into the 5s, that's fine. Just not a double IPA multi monster. Something nice and hoppy. Really balances out that spice nice for me. And always get your wings with blue cheese because
That's
ranch
right.
is trash.
Ranch is trash, baby. Couldn't agree any more with that. And it kind of leads into my pick. I am a fan of the traditional buffalo wing. There are a couple spots out near me that do it right, but I would say there's a little spot called the Bonfire out by me, and they make an incredible buffalo wing. Now, I like to, every time I get them, I am always coming home with a 6-pack of the Founders All Day IPA to chase those wings down with. There is something about the little bite that the Founders gives me that kind of tears away a little bit the spiciness and lets me, like Josh said, just I can pound wings, especially those two flavor profiles. And to play off of Adam too, it's blue cheese, or ask Uncle Joey Diaz what happens after that.
Yeah, well, And I'm not gonna lie, that Founders All Day is a perfect pairing for me with the spicy wing. That's a really good choice on a brew.
Yeah.
If you're going national, I mean that thing I think you can get in almost any state. So
yeah. I have never walked into a place that sells beer and I didn't see a case or a 6-pack or whatever of Founders All Day. So it's there.
They do those suckers in 15 packs because they are
raw. Coming in a close second too, by the way. Anytime I can get my hands on 21st Amendment's a Hell or High Watermelon, I'll throw that on too if I'm eating some spicy wings.
And now we differ. My second place would probably be a if we're going national brands, I'd go like Dogfish 60 Minute or Bell's Two Hearted. Yeah,
Bell's Two Hearted, and that's just a staple beer. So last question here. We have all three of us work in the brew lab, and a lot of people have gotten great beers from the brew lab. What is the biggest mistake you guys have made in the brew lab?
So I just made mine recently.
Okay.
Because I haven't really been around too long, but I was turning the gas on to one of the burners and had it going full bore. And as soon as I lit that thing, fireball to the face, tried to make me look like fucking Fiend.
Yeah.
Like,
by God, King, it's Kane.
Yeah, like you heard the woof.
He's got a family, god damn it.
Luckily escaped only losing knuckle hair. But
lucky man.
I was in there for that one, and when right after he lit it, I was like, yeah, man, you can just turn that on halfway to light it.
Dude, those burners have claimed many a man.
Yeah. Oh, I have no hair on my hands because of those burners. I get it. It happens, but yeah, it's just got to be careful.
Adam, as the leader of the brew lab, you had to have a couple mishaps here.
Yeah, so funny enough, my biggest mistake was on the very first brew we did in the now called Jojatorium Brew Lab. We were making the Jojinator as our inaugural effort, and I didn't know the importance of I didn't know how pumps worked, to be honest. So we were pumping beer from the boil kettle. Like, it's a completely finished beer other than fermentation. We just needed to pump it into the fermenter and get it out to the people. And I put a clamp on it, but didn't think that the hose might jump a little bit when we turned the pump on full blast. And I wasn't there to hold it. And it sprayed the ceiling and all four walls of the brew lab consecutively. Made me cuss out everything in the room. Scared my wife. It was a disaster. But we saved everything but that. We lost a quarter gallon of wort on the walls and ceiling. And then we quickly readjusted, but that was a huge misstep. We haven't had anything like that since. Other than that, probably not making sure the valves were closed before we're transferring water, but that's why Matt and Josh are in the brew lab now. So I have that covered. But yeah, the biggest one was especially the cleanup for that one, because that has honey in it. It was a messy cleanup. It was rough.
Well, it's funny that you say I'm there to help you close valves, because one of the biggest mishaps, and it wasn't huge, but it was what I deserved. We were all standing around talking, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm responsible for all the little stuff, like the valves being closed, this and that. And as Adam was transferring over some like boiling hot water, the water came straight out of the valve that I didn't close. And it's fun to see about 2 hours of heating water up get wasted because you're just like talking shit, thinking you're cocky that you close all the valves, and I didn't do that.
You're talking shit, and you had one too many brewskis, and
and that was my bad. I think the other thing that I did too that I
It's
still
not your
laugh
fault.
about.
All three of us missed the mark on closing that valve. I mean, you can.
It's
You are the
it's
you
that
are
one.
the valve. You are the valve expert. But all three. Of us missed the valve. So don't take it too hard.
I think the other one that was funny for me is measuring out the water in the mash tub. So it was like, yeah, man, we need 9 gallons. I was like, this thing ain't fucking filling up, man. And it was like near the brim, and there's only 2 sticks to measure it with. And for people who don't know, Adam wrote which one goes where, and I was just grabbing the wrong one, and I was filling up the boil. Wait, we needed 9. I think I had like 14 in there or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because the pot holds 15 gallons. You had like 14.4 gallons in that thing before you were like, I think something's wrong, guys. And I'm not going to save you from that one. That was on you.
Yeah. It was that happened my first brew day with you guys.
Yeah.
And after he realized, he's like, I don't think this is filling up. I looked and realized that I was the one that pointed it out. I think you're using the wrong stick.
It was like a Benny Hill cartoon. Like if the song in the background goes, I don't know why it's filling up so far. I'm measuring it the whole time.
But easily corrected.
Yeah.
We lost a little bit of water, but
We just touch of water. So speaking of the Brew Lab and speaking of what we do here under Adam's supervision, thank God. Adam, can you tell the people that are listening to us what is on tap?
Yeah, we have the Kicking Kitty Porter, Mocha Porter at 7.4% on draft right now for bottles. We have the Tuckered Stout 7.5 Peanut Butter Stout on draft, also available in bottles. We have the Here's Looking at You Kid Twinkie Cream Ale, 4.4%. A nice crispy one for the warm weather when it warms back up. Also available on tap or in bottles. And finally, we are on our second keg of the Drunken Donut at 6.4%. It is not going to last long, folks, as the Jelly Donut IPA, also available on draft in-house or in bottles. And then coming up, the Jogenator is in kegs and carbonating right now. It'll be ready on Monday, April 19th, I believe. So that'll be ready on the 19th. We have a Hoppy Pilsner coming out a few days later. We'll probably let you know about that. That'll probably be ready around our next podcast date. And then from there, we have something special coming out for Mother's Day. It'll be the Mom Jeans Mimosa-inspired Brute Ale. It'll taste like a mimosa. So, hey, hit us up on the social media if you're interested in any bottles or trying it here on draft. Let me know. We're at bash_brew on Instagram and Bash Brewing on Facebook, or if you just type in Bash Brew and look for the sketchy yellow on black logo, that's us. If it looks like death metal writing, that is Bash Brew.
Hell yeah. Like Adam said, if you want to find out what's happening in the Brew Lab, all you have to do on Instagram is search out bash_brew, or on Facebook, Bash Brewing, or just go ahead and type out bash_brew and he's going to pop up on Facebook as well. We're also on Untapped at bash_brew. And if you want to find out what's going on with Decaying with the Boys, all you have to do is find us at Decaying WTB on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you want to get your questions answered or just kind of, poke fun at us, you can send us an email at decayingwtb@gmail.com. I always have a blast here. Adam, you have
I would like to say maybe common sense. Also, if you want beer and you can't remember the Bash Brew tags, if you're following Decaying with the Boys, hit Matt up with a message. He'll get it to me, and we'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Listen,
we want to get this either site, you'll get beer.
Yes. And we want to get this to you. So again, if you want beer, bash_brew at Decaying WTB. If you want to hear about the podcast at Decaying WTB, we're on all social media. This podcast goes on all major platforms. And again, just to wrap it up, we are on Hop Nation USA as a feature on episode 197. Shout out to those guys. Thank you, Steve and Adam. Big things are on the horizon for Bash Brew and Decaying with the Boys. So you got to keep tuned to us to find out what's happening next. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers, brothers.
See ya.